From Oregon's Constant Gardener, welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk down there. It's going to be fun. Okay, comprehensive feeding regimen. Just to catch up, we've been working on how to fit all this stuff together. The nectar for the gods. What's the comprehensive stuff? What's the thing you need to have to do it right, but not overdo it? And how does all this other stuff fit in with it? And we've gone through just about everything. We are down to, it says full on here, but it should say SLF-100. Newton Hayes, SLF-100, this stuff. Big part of the regimen, very helpful to use in Nectar for the Gods. We're going to cover that with Newton, and then we're going to have this done. We're going to fill this out, and then we're going to start working on that. So we're almost there. Let's get Newton on and talk to him. I'm going to bring this up. Can you see that? All right. Yeah.
Howdy, Bob.
Dude, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Let me get you.
Myself more.
You look good. You look good. You look real good. What do you got on there?
Doghouse.
Nice. Nice. All right. I'm recording. We won't use it. What's that?
They're paying me.
They're paying?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. See, now that's a big part of business, I've heard. I've never really been a good businessman, but it's my understanding that you give them the stuff and then it's super important that they actually pay you for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Big part of doing business.
A free nug or something.
Can I catch you next harvest? Oh, that's great. All right, so I just got the chart. So it's seed and clone, early veg, mid veg, late veg, early flowering, mid flowering, late flowering, and flush. And so we just need to mark down numbers for those. If we can do them in teaspoons, that would be awesome.
Right.
So we'll just go, okay?
Cool.
All right. I'll do the thing. Hey there, Newton. I'm sorry. I'm going to start over.
You can laugh when you say my name.
I'm in a little too high of spirits. I'm in a little too high. You know, that's the funny thing about Newton. Let's just talk about that for a minute. It's kind of a funny name and a very distinguished name at all at the same time. There's no middle, you know? Like if you're Jim, there's no middle. I mean, you are the middle. That's it. But if you're Newton, it's like, hey, Newton.
Or a scientist. And usually it's a cookie when it comes to me.
I forgot that Fig Newtons and Newton were the same name. I'm getting off track. I'm in high spirits today.
Every day growing up.
Yeah, it's a tough deal. But you're actually pretty lucky because having a normal name like mine, I never got harassed about my name. They would actually dig into things like your complexion or your height and stuff like that. So you're probably better off they superficially kidded you.
Yeah, well, I got into it.
Oh. So it's
growing up, and I still am. So
you get the. Yeah, I was a nerd, but not a cool nerd like now. A nerd like, you know, greasy hair nerd.
The stinky, greasy-haired one.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. Kind of quiet. Just got harassed. Not terrible. I mean, I never got beat up or anything. But just, you know, just maligned. I guess it probably worked out better in the end. I'm a more, you know, rounded person because of it, I guess.
Rounded in all senses of the word.
Yep. But I'll tell you, my orthodontist, Andy, he was a cool kid. And he doesn't seem to have suffered for it. He seems just fine.
Well,
yeah.
Empathy is what it does.
I guess so. All right, I'm ready to go if you are.
Good. I'm ready.
Okay. Hey there, we're here with Newton Hayes, SLF-100 founder, big kahuna, the guy, because we're taking this stuff and adding it to a nectar regimen. So, Newton, you've seen my chart, right? It's just get some bad sound there. It's okay. It's working now. Just You're messing with me, aren't you?
Didn't do anything.
The sound is like, are you touching the microphone or something?
Nothing. No.
Okay.
It's bad.
Right.
Call that.
No, it's all. No, we're going. We're going. So you got seed and clone. Is there any place for SLF-100 in the seed clone stage?
Absolutely.
Okay. What?
We usually do like a teaspoon to a gallon of water for a seed soak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously a good inoculation. You can also use Dr. Root, which is a great inoculation as well. But SLF in a cloning situation will keep the tank clean.
Okay.
2.5 to 5 mils. You're probably better off with 2.5 mils.
Okay.
Cloner, you don't need a whole lot. 2.5 to 5 mils.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. There's a lot of these products, nutrient stuff, Zeus Juice, Full On, Microbe Life, Dr. Root, a lot of these things that people will say soak the seeds in. And would you soak the seeds in all of them, or would you pick one?
Just pick one.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be SLF. Whatever you have that's handy.
But you would soak it in one thing, not 5 things.
No.
I got you. Okay.
I'll report.
Okay. So now what about in the clone machine keeps the clone machine clean. That's a good thing. And then what if I'm dropping seeds into soil and making them pop? Maybe I germinated, maybe I didn't. When I water those, would I put SLF in with my watering?
Into your watering? Say that again for what?
Yeah, for seeds. I've got a seed, hasn't poked through yet. I'm just watering. I'm not putting any nutrients to it yet, so I'm just watering that. Would I put anything? I might put some Dr. Root in there. Would SLF have any effect on that? That would be what do you call it? Salubrious.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that SLF is a huge array of bacteria along with enzymes. So
okay.
Adding that in to a soak for your seedling for a seed, absolutely.
How much?
They're rhizobacteria, and you want those. Those will form that first relationship with the root zone and make a healthy plant.
Okay. So how much would you use at that stage?
Again, a teaspoon to a gallon or even less. 2.5 mils. You really don't need that much.
Not much. Okay, so if you were doing Dr. Root or maybe Full On or something like that, could you add the SLF in with that, or would you choose one or the other for watering a seedling?
You can add it in. Did you say Full On into that?
Well, maybe Full On. There's a lot of these things that you could. I mean, I wouldn't use nutrients, I don't think, because you really got what's in the soil, and you don't want to push it hard at this point. But any of these other things that are kind of micronutrients or enzymes or this kind of thing, people sometimes water those in.
Yeah, at that point, you really want a good relationship with the root zone and bacteria. You want to inoculate that with beneficials. So SLF and Dr. Root or SLF and Photosynthesis Plus.
Okay.
Any combination of those is good. I mean, all of them at the same time is probably definitely overboard. Okay,
I got you. Okay, cool. So now I've got early veg. I got a little teenager, and he's going along. I'm feeding him my, my nectar. I'm using some cultured every once in a while for my teas. I'm probably using a couple of other things. How much am I going to use, and how often am I going to use the SLF?
What we like to recommend a teaspoon per gallon once a week. And people are going to get away with using that on a water day. And I know a lot of people don't have water days using for the gods. You really want to just stay ahead of that calcium buildup. If you're feeding heavy, a lot of Herculean harvest, we're getting more into flowers, but you want to stay ahead of that crust. And there's other good ways of doing that. Instead of using a ton of SLF, you can do a mulch, just allowing that top layer to stay wet so that microbes will keep breaking that down. As soon as that dries out, it basically ends all functions. So it's just going to harden.
Okay. So as I'm going through veg, am I bumping up or bumping down in time or in quantity my SLF, or does it just remain steady all the way through veg?
Everybody's different. It depends on how you feed. If you're a heavy feeder, you can use it with every feed. I try to keep people away from that. If you can incorporate it on a tea day or a water day once a week, that would be great. You'll get a lot more breakdown effect because you're not adding Herculean harvest every day. But if you are adding Herculean harvest every day, you can add it into your feed just to stay ahead. And try 2 times a week instead of every feed.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is it's better when it's on its own a little bit over when it's going in with the feeding. So like for what we're doing, I think most of us on the show is we're doing a tea day, and that would be when you would use it, and it's worked somewhat synergistically and somewhat similarly to a microbial product where it's breaking stuff down to make it more available.
Absolutely.
Okay, but also has other
top layer of crust. You're definitely cycling nutrients. You're getting a lot more benefit than what we see. What we see is the crust breaking down, and that's a good visual for us, but you're getting a lot more than that.
Okay, so I move into flowering. Is there any difference in flowering over what there is in veg?
Typically we're bumping up our Herculean harvest and other nutrients, eating more, getting into flower. So, again, if you're feeding heavy and you want to bump it up, you're not going to hurt your plants by doing that. It starts getting a little bit more expensive. And hey, if you can, even if it's not a full-on watering and you just do something in between, just basically soaking that top layer, to get away from using SLF with every feed.
Okay.
Try to talk people into using less.
Okay. So what you're saying, I guess, is that this is an important part of growing your plant, and you should be using it all the way through, no matter what, but you should bump it up in relation to your Herculean harvest bump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we don't have to go deep into this, but just the oversimplified answer. Do you use it as part of a flush? Cost no object. Is it helpful in a flush?
It's absolutely helpful in a flush. You're providing those extra microbes and extra enzymes to help break down, and in the flush, you're adding more calcium so that your microbes then have to go and break that down. You're binding nutrients up so that your microbes have to break that down. And
okay, sure.
Adding those extra microbes into that flush, absolutely, it's going to help.
So what I think we were both talking there about a preventative or a curative flush. What about when we get to the end of the road and we're backing off on nutrients and we're coming into the home stretch? What about there? Is SLF something we're using in that part of the late flowering, right before harvest?
I do, absolutely. To finish up cycling those nutrients and to give those microbes in your soil that extra boost to do exactly that, to finish up the cycling of nutrients and allow the plant to go through its fall cycle.
Booyah! That's it, right? That covers it? Okay, well there we go. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being so to the point.
You're welcome. No BS.
No BS. Okay, that was fun. We sure appreciate Newton doing that for us. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining. That's the end of putting the chart together. Now we're going to move on to using the chart and doing some fun stuff. That's the show for today. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM341. And if you buy anything while you're there, use the code FAMSUMMER. It's going to save you 20%, and it's a lot of fun. The OCG Fam Show, it's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.